Hello, hello. Welcome back for another Cloak and Dagger review. This is Ian here along with Chris.
Hey!
And we are checking out episode 4, Get Your Feels Ready.
Is that the title? No,
No, it's not.
The title is Call Response.
Call Response.
Call Response, a.k.a. Get Your Feels Ready. A.k.a. that's not how you properly use chains.
No, it's not. We will dig into that. Oh man, hey, hope everybody is doing well. Hey, here's our episode that we start digging a lot more into, what do you want to call this? Motive, accountability, action, ramifications, past. All these things are really starting to come into play. Now, this was the episode that I was hoping was going to be the square the circle about powers. Really start, making that manifest plan to make that map and to move forward and whatnot. But the device here is interesting. I want to say you've got the church as our main pivot point here, aka where we left off the end of the last episode, setting up the discussion between Tyrone and Tandy. But then you've got this interplay of looking at how Tandy is handling things in her life and how Tyrone is handling his own situation. So. Looking at those, I mean, I guess the best way to split this is sort of looking at how they kind of navigate from that point at the church, and then we take those like little panoptic shots over. And I guess the one that jumps out to me first is just Tandy, looking at reconciling her feelings about Greg. I mean, obviously she thinks this guy's a complete deadbeat first, just hanging out, with her mom and everything, but. Starts to change a little bit when she gets a look at him and actually sees his motive, what he's actually really thinking, Yeah,
he wants to be a chef, didn't he?
Yeah, and
I say, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he wants this whole thing to work out.
Yeah.
Potentially, he sees potentially a much longer connection with this than Tandy gave him credit for. She thought this was just the latest deadbeat to walk through the door, to ride up on her and her mother, and maybe when the drugs are through and everything else, he'll just scoot and move his way. But apparently not.
Apparently so, because I think the term deadbeat's perfect. Because
involuntarily,
because dude's dead.
Yeah.
Clearly and obviously because he's been looking into Roxanne.
Right.
We don't need to say anything more about that. Really, that's pretty obvious. That whole scene was bad. It felt forced.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do over at the Walking Dead reviews is, we always ask at the beginning, overall, what were your feelings about this episode? Ian, overall, what were your feelings about this episode?
Well, yeah. I had a lot of feels, for sure. I mean,
there were feels everywhere.
Yeah, but. It's still. I was ready to make a decisive call this episode on what this is casting to be, but I feel like I gotta wait another episode at least to do that. I even though I wanted this to be the one, this isn't quite it, and I still feel this needs to be given a little bit more of a chance to air out. We were talking before we started. One of my biggest fears of this, and I got to give you credit, you helped talk me into. What we're looking at now, with the review for this series, was coming into this series and then, making an immediate regret, saying, "Oh crap, did I get myself into an Inhuman situation or something? Should I just be focusing on the Netflix side?" But hey, you managed to keep me for 4 episodes now to see what you're going to become. All right, I'll still give that a bit more, but yeah,
this is not Inhumans.
No, it's not.
You should apologize. For
I
that,
can't.
really.
No. I did not compare it to Inhumans. I said my regret would be if I got myself into an Inhuman situation. I have not done that with this.
Have you actually watched an episode of Inhumans?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay, I was going to say because that's really mean that you say that. So you're kind of about this episode?
Yeah, I'm about. I'm roughly where I was, if not actually a little less than last episode. I mean, you've got there's some interesting dialogue here. There's some good, I think, personal challenge, especially on Tyrone's part, to Tandy, referencing what you were talking about with the chains and things like that. That stood out to me, but I'm about.
It's
where
also
I was.
not the right way to use bolt cutters.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And would I be linking things too much if I linked the fact that he had bolt cutters and she had chains?
This guy, you're all over the yin yang aspect. I love it.
The episode was fine up until the end for me, up until about the last segment, I think a little bit before it. Then it just took a huge curve, too much of a curve. It's not like Tandy and Tyrone aren't going to talk again.
Right.
They're freaking Cloak and Dagger. Okay, so I guess they have to. The whole argument at the end felt really forced. It was pretty annoying. It's like, they're getting along too well, even though the conversations they had been having, which I thought were pretty organic.
Yeah.
The fact that they're from very different places was still evident.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, okay, we're not pushing the con person thing. We're not pushing the minority thing. We're not pushing how different it is. We're not pushing enough. All right, let's just crank it to 9,000 the next time we see them. And then they killed Greg, and I still thought, despite what she saw, I still thought Greg was like, okay, well, he may mean that, but that's not telling her. It's not, this ability isn't telling her that he's some kind of weirdo,
right?
And I thought that was going to be the angle,
right.
And the angle is no, he's a good guy. He's dead. He's dead though.
Can't have that.
It's like someone looked at the script and said, "This is not dramatic enough."
If anything, something that I've appreciated, and why I actually agree why I didn't appreciate the dialing up. Something I've liked about this series is not forcing some of those really common angles to force. Right. Like you said, the whole minority issue. That's something you can play up real easy in the whole interplay, and I think there's a certain chemistry, a certain dynamic you'd expect between these two characters that isn't there, and it hasn't been there, like for those earlier episodes, and that's a great sign. I'm like, that's a trap you don't always have to fall into, because people come in with the preconceived notion that's what this is going to be, but it's been anything but, and you might be looking for that even unconsciously somewhere in the back of your mind, but you usually don't get it. But it just got kind of slopped in your face here.
Yeah. Now, what you were saying before about the whole thing with Tyrone, and he learned some more about his brother. He learned some more about his father.
Right.
I thought that was a great reaction from his father, and taking him to show him this role that he never knew about.
Yeah.
Him. And I thought that was all good. I thought most of the stuff with Tandy and her mom, and Greg just letting Tandy look over legal documents and stuff is completely ridiculous. Of course, they didn't really specify what was going on there, but I get the impression if she's helping him with his cases,
right,
or this case in particular, that she's probably getting her eyes on some things that she's not supposed to be seeing. But then again, he sleeps with his clients and gets drunk with them, so and he's a good guy. And he's leaving his wife, so Greg's just all kinds of, well, not that it matters anymore, does it?
Oh no, I mean, you've heard of bedside manner, but this takes it to a new level.
Yeah, goodbye, Greg.
The other side of this for Tyrone that I thought was good about this episode, besides all those origins you just named, was him really kind of smartening up, kind of like getting smart about bringing Connors to justice. How's he actually going to go about doing this? Really giving form to all those, the metaphorical things that we saw that were starting to take some shape in the last episode. He's got the whole allusion to instead of taking the pistol, instead of taking the violent approach, the handgun, the handcuffs instead. And knowing that that's a viable path, it's like, all right, how can some of this actually start to take form? I appreciated that. And also,
he's got his cloak now.
He does, which was just made me do a fist pump. I'm like, all right. Comic, definitely bringing the Marvel comics in
with a bunch of beads. I never heard of that
Dude.
before. That's got to be a real thing, right?
I hadn't either. I thought when I had first looked at that, I thought it was literally just cloak wrapped in one package, but no, Akuma beads or anything like that.
No, I mean the whole sewing beads and all that. I'm not aware of that culture. I don't know much about it.
No. Oh no, I'm with you now. I'm with you. My bad.
I never heard of that before. It looks cool.
No, it is. But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, one other thing. Even the other little parts here, of the way he uses his agency to sort of think of ways to get closer to this and really better ways to observe. Tandy makes that suggestion that, well, steal a bike to, get inside the police station, observe, and he does that, but he he goofs it up. And he makes that comment that look, they're going to look at me and they think I'm a thug. There's actual real fears I have to even go into this place in the first place. But seeing him overcome that and surmount that, that's interesting.
Yeah, his parents are really nosy.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Hey, let the kid just go without breakfast for once. What the?
Butt out.
Yeah, mind your business.
Oh man, I'm sorry. You were gonna say you're building something.
I don't even remember anymore. It was probably something dramatic. Oh no, I remember. Greg dying though continues the theme that I think that they're going to go with the show, which is that, like I was saying with what's her name, Riley, the cop.
Yeah.
The cop's either going to get killed or is going to be shown as completely worthless. We have that here with a lawyer, someone who's seen as. Well, lawyers are seen as a lot of things, but often in TV shows they're also used as being seen as someone who can bring justice for people.
Yep.
And he's starting to get close on this thing, and boom, dead.
Sucks.
Laying down the narrative of the law is not going to be able to help you, police aren't going to be able to help you, lawyers aren't going to be able to help you, Cloak and Dagger are going to have to help themselves.
Bump, buddy, bump.
Which is fine, but still, the whole way he died and everything, it's just,
yeah,
that was just not good. That was not good TV.
No. Speaking of death, one that didn't happen. You pointed at this earlier. Right here, we were talking about it. Was the improper use of chains? How not to use chains? There's just a straight out challenge from Tyrone. Tandy's getting really wrapped up in this and saying that it should have been me.
You said wrapped up in that.
Yeah, you see what I did there. Saying that it should have been me instead of my father. He should have died. I wish I was the one. And Tyrone's just he's had enough of that. And says, look, if that's really what's on your mind, if that's really what you want to do with all this, that's really what you want to be, go do it. Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
What that kind of just stunned me. I was like, dude, that's not. She could just straight up go and do that. Careful, like
Cloak can't be telling Dagger to go kill herself.
No,
that's Dagger, and he's Cloak. No.
I that kind of took me aback a bit, but
yeah,
shoot.
Well, like I said, that was ridiculous. It went in a in a show that's actually been written, excuse me, slowly, but also well.
Yeah.
For the most part, I was very disappointed to see the left turn that it took at the end. It just didn't need to happen like that.
No.
So, I mean, there's a new enough of a relationship here for them to have crossed over many different tripwires with each other than the tropes that they used.
Well, we took a hard left and ended up in Albuquerque. Let's hope we end up in Las Vegas next time. Something, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but overall though, I'm disappointed with this show because we're gonna get into the 5th episode. There's 9 in total because you had 2 on the premiere, so there's 8 weeks after that, and we're going into episode 5, and we've yet to see hardly any Cloak or Dagger, or any fighting or really anything, and my concern from last week's episode, which is that if this is the pace and this is how this is going to go, This is not really fitting what I'm looking for here.
Right.
I get it. It's freeform. It's something a little different, but I mean, come on now. There's a reason why your ratings are tanking. And
Right.
there's multiple reasons. One is people have caught on to the fact that the MCU universe, TV show or movie are still very separate.
Yep.
And it upsets a lot of people. But at the same time, it's like, this is... Yeah, and I think what we saw in that last segment, a lot of people aren't gonna like.
No.
It's not what they're looking for here. Some. Not everyone, but some.
Not the
Certainly
droids you're looking for.
Yeah.
So, well, there's not a whole lot of time to really get the ball rolling on a lot of this. We're already over halfway. Man, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, we'll be halfway next week.
Yeah, good gracious, but I'm hoping it turns the page, hoping we're going to see more of this duo coming together into some superhero, or at least young, semi-superhero awesomeness sooner or later, and getting a villain or two on the board outside of, some of the main origin things we had. This to be expected in an origin story. I get it. You're going to have the showing of that symbiotic relationship and everything else. Another thing I'm really interested in that hasn't been played up, and I don't know if this is going to be played up later. When I looked at Cloak and Dagger in the early comics, it always seemed to me that at least the way their powers related to one another, at least the way Dagger balanced out Cloak, was almost an analog for avoiding drugs, or because Cloak would basically be like a life force eating vampire if it wasn't for her. I mean, she really functions as like a counterbalance, for him. And while the whole yin yang angle is being played up here, they both, not yet at least. I don't see that degree of dependency there. So whether it's going to be their powers developing into something we can't see yet, or whatever else, it could happen. But that's slightly different take they have on it already.
I mean, do you want me to take a guess at this?
Hit it.
Because I think Tyrone's going to get there, because I think he's going to, he's a noob at all this stuff. He's going to try to be a superhero, and he's going to get caught, and his parents are going to get killed by Roxxon, and that's going to make him turn all super emo Cloak.
Good predict. I like the prediction. I like it. Because what better inverse? And I think we've already got some little some hints at this and some slight foreshadowing if you look at it. What better inverted fear? Think about it. His mother's biggest nightmare is for not only his older brother dying, but also him dying, having to see both of their graves that early, and if that flipped on its head, man.
Or maybe just one of them. Maybe just one of them dies, but it's going to be the same cop that kills one of them.
Right. There you go.
Probably the mom.
Yeah.
Just because we're not getting a lot of fleshed out with her, and we're getting a lot more backstory with the father.
Yeah.
And the father could totally go to his old gang and look for some street justice.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, so what do we rate this? 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 what? 1 out of 5 muted shots to the head.
Muted shots to the head.
muted. 1 out of 5 muted shots to the feels, aka the head.
The nosedive at the end and a few other things played it down for me a bit. I'm gonna hit this with a solid 6.
Out of 5?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking out of 10.
1 out of 5.
Out of 5. Out of 5. Okay, let's back that up a bit. I am gonna hit this with a 3.
3. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not too happy. You were sitting at a solid 3.5 up until that last one there. Then it's like, well, you went cheap on it.
Oh man,
you went cheap and generic on it, and you lost a bunch.
Yeah. At least didn't lose a bunch of crunch.
Hey, those haven't shown up yet.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Would you put him on a snail and send him on his way?
Yeah, camel. Actually, I'll check on it for you. For those of you who may not know the context of that, I lost the bet to Chris about the release for Kingdom Hearts. Actually, it kind of sucks.
Right.
Kind of sucks. I went on a technicality. I wanted to win. I wanted to win on technicals, like that it was actually a solid title and stuff. But nope, off by a few weeks. It is not coming out in 2018. It is coming out early 2019, and I have sent this man his bunch of crunch.
That's right. Just missed it, but just delicious enough for me.
A win is a win. Inch or a mile. So,
Thank
all
you,
right.
Square Enix.
Oh, but hey, that is going to do it for us on this review. But hey, what do you guys think? Did you like the zigzag, the left turn? Is there something else that really jumped out of this episode for you that you just really want to talk about and you want to dive more into? Hey,
Yeah. Like, are we just not getting it because we're probably older guys that shouldn't be watching freeform TV shows? Tell us below. Tell us below.
Okay.
Or just yell at us for watching freeform TV shows.
Yeah, that's fine too.
I almost turned it off every time I turned it on. So for that very reason.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right. Oh man, but hey, that's all we got. It's gonna do it for us. But hey, thank you all for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing more from you. Please stay tuned. Not only for more Cloak and Dagger, but we got Luke Cage coming up. And also our movie reviews on the way, Jurassic Park this weekend, and some other fun goodies in the future.
Invincible superheroes and dinosaurs.
Man,
that's the best weekend ever.
Now you just need the image of a T-Rex riding a tank, firing lasers out of its eyes.
A picture of T-Rex with lasers with Luke Cage riding it.
Even better. Even better.
Sweet Christmas.
Bulletproof love.
Luke Cage just needs to show up in the Cloak and Dagger show and just like slap these kids. It's like, stop it.
Stop. What are you doing? That'd be great.
Go fight crime.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry.
Hopefully they figure it out. But all right.
All right.
Thank you, people. Till next time, take it easy. Have a good one. And we'll see you right here. Hey people, thank you for tuning into this episode and taking a listen. If you like our content, if you like what you're listening to, there anything we go over, hey, please, we would not only love to hear more from you, but it'd be great if you could throw some support. You can subscribe right below. Also, you can toss us a line anytime. That's ksongmedia@gmail.com. Of course, you can tune in for our channel anytime for movie reviews, game reviews, a lot of random wacky stuff. Who knows what you'll hear. And of course, our episode each week where we're bringing the nerdiest things we can find, dig up, and maybe not find. Maybe the stuff that just drops in our laps. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We hope to hear from you again later. Take care.